Good morning, everyone. Sorry, good evening, everyone. Good evening, Jai Hind, and welcome to the session. So, I hope all of you are doing well. Good evening, everyone. So, I guess all of you are doing well, and I also hope I am properly audible and visible to all of you. Good evening. Okay, so yes, I am also quite good. I am also good. Okay, so in the last session, I have asked you this one question about e-voting in Bihar. That in the state of Bihar, for you can say that a noble initiative has been there, that we have started with this electronic voting system for the voters of Bihar. Especially, it right now it has been started in the case of municipal elections. Municipal bypolls has been there. So I have asked about this, that what are the challenges. So yes, I have got some good answers. Okay, like many of you have highlighted about this, like Pragya has said about this, that digital illiteracy is one issue. Yes, many people might not be aware about how to perform the voting through these apps. So that is one thing. Possible misuse is also there. Although Election Commission of Bihar, it has said that they have got this face authentication also. Okay. Plus, at the same time, the voter ID card and all other things can be matched. But yes, there is a chance. There is a chance that there can be potential misuse of it. There can be coercion. Okay. So that privacy which is there with respect to voting in the polling booth stations, you know that there is a privacy. Which button they are pressing, that is completely like private. It is not known to other people. So that is also one part. Accessibility, government influence or vigilance, yes. Okay. Safety and security of voters and logistic hurdles. Even Shikha has also mentioned about this. Cyber security risk, complexity in voting process, technical issue, challenge in data management, lack of trust among people, lack of awareness. Okay. Diaspora not included. So yes, all these points are there. Then there is also about one point from Shreya, which is about citizens have no proper knowledge of technology. I mean, same thing is there. Lack of transparency, lack of answerability, cyber hacking problem. So I think there is one common thing. There is also answer from Shubham. There is answer from Shankar also. And in almost all these things, yes, there is one common thing. There is also from Manju Lata. Okay. There is one answer from Manju Lata also and Prashant also. Okay. There is one very important part which has been given by Prashant, that phones may not be available to a number of people. The mobile phones may not be available with a number of people, and this is going to require an app. This is going to require an app for voting. So an app for voting may not be available for everyone. So that accessibility to the app is also one issue. Accessibility issue is there, transparency issue is there, this voter privacy is there, cyber security risk is there. Okay. There can be vigilance, coercion. All these are valid points, which is with respect to voting by mobile apps at the home. Okay. We have seen that what can be the possible benefits also, but at the same time, there are multiple challenges which are also existing. And if we talk about this, right now, the situation may not be very much ripe. The situation may not be very much ripe for introduction of voting through like this voting with the help of mobile app. There can be some other alternatives. There can be some other changes which may be introduced. Like it can be done in a secret room. Okay. Or like it can be done in a private mode. There can be video authentication. So these options can be there. Okay. नहीं, ये मेरा पार्ट नहीं है जो चेंज करने का. दिस इज नॉट फ्रॉम माई पार्ट. आई जस्ट गेट इट. So this is one thing. Now we have this one thing. 5G voting phone is means even the normal vote phone. You can see that in village areas still many people are having the basic feature phones. The basic feature phones, the one which cannot have apps and all. So in that case, it may be a challenge for a number of people. So that is also one thing which are challenges with respect to e-voting. Okay. Now, in today's session, the topics which we are going to discuss, one topic is from the space section, space and defense, space plus defense, and that is satellite system for defense technology. So that is one of the topic which we are going to study in today's session. The second topic which we are going to see, there is one interesting topic. Like once there was a question on Gucci mushroom. There is a Gucci mushroom, so it was quite viral in 2022, and there was a question on it. So similarly, there is a drink which is famous nowadays, and it is called as Kombucha. Okay, so that is a miscellaneous article. That is a miscellaneous article which is like viral these days. Okay, and even in Hindu, there is a coverage of these things. Okay, there is a coverage of these things like kombucha and all. So we will try to see this part. Third thing is GI tag. So this is a very common topic. Okay, this is very common topic. It falls under this IPR, intellectual property rights, under the science and tech section. In the science and tech section, you have to read about intellectual property rights. There you have to read about GI tags. So in that context, we are going to talk about this. Then we have the another one. There is one thing from economy, Thalinomics. Thalinomics is all about poverty calculation. So we will try to understand that what is being said under this Thalinomics or Thali index. So we will try to discuss about this one issue. Okay. No, I cannot vote right now. It has been provided only for some categories like those who are above 60-70 years of age. I am still not in that. Maybe in a few years, I may be eligible. As soon as I become 60 years old or 70 years old, I may get this option of voting through the app. Okay. So maybe I will have to wait for a few more years, 1 or 2 years, and then after I will be eligible for voting. Otherwise not. So those people who are senior citizens, those who are disabled, they have this option to vote through this voting app. Right now, it has not been opened for everyone else. It is not for the migrants, not for the diaspora. So that is a limitation. Okay. Now, so let us start. Okay. Let us start with this. Let us start first with some questions. Okay. Now, here we have one question from previous topics. The first one is saying, any capital investment in a listed company is considered as FDI in India. FDI is not allowed in unlisted companies in India. RBI monitors FDI in India. So how many statements given above are correct? Yes, only a few years. See, the thing is, like, it is about how you calculate the years. Okay. In the lifetime of Earth, 100 years is just like a blink of time. Okay. In the life scale of Earth, Earth is like 4.6. Earth was born 4.6 billion years ago. So in that time scale, 100 years is like just a blink of eye. So in that context, it is just about a few moments. I am talking about that time scale. So here we have this one question from FDI, foreign direct investment. What will be the answer? A option, B option, and D option. Okay. So if you look at this, any capital investment in a listed company is considered as FDI in India. That is incorrect. Okay. Any capital investment in a listed company will not be considered as FDI. Capital investment only above 10%. Capital investment only above 10% in a listed company is going to be considered as FDI. So this first option is incorrect. FDI is not allowed in unlisted companies in India. That is also incorrect. FDI is allowed in fact in listed companies in India. They can invest in unlisted companies also. Okay. So this second option is also incorrect. RBI monitors FDI in India. So this one is correct. Hence the answer is going to be A option. That is only one. So most of the people have gone for option number B. Question is asking how many of them are correct. Okay. Any capital investment in a listed company will not be considered FDI until unless it is more than 10%. In unlisted companies, it can be any capital investment. So answer here is A option. Consider the following: Armenia, Azerbaijan, Turkmenistan, Afghanistan. How many of the above are sharing border with Iran? How many of the above are sharing border with Iran? So that is also one of the question. See, now we are changing it a little bit. I am not asking question just from the previous session. Now I am asking questions from the previous week. Why? Because there is one thing. Whatever I have told you last day, you are easily able to memorize that and you are easily able to solve it. So now I am taking like suggestions from you guys. Okay. Some of you have suggested, I think some of you have suggested this part that I should take questions from the previous week. So I am taking that suggestion from your end, and then now I am changing this format. I am asking questions from the topics which we have discussed in the last week or before that. So from 1st July onwards, we are changing the format. Okay. So yes, here if we look at this, Armenia is there, Azerbaijan is also there, Turkmenistan, Afghanistan, all four are there. So answer is D option. All these four countries, they are sharing the border. Okay. Turkmenistan is there. Turkmenistan is sharing border with Iran. So here the correct answer is going to be all four. That is D option. Now coming to the third question, consider the following statements. High seas refer to the area beyond exclusive economic zone. A country passing through high seas must inform the coastal country. The high seas are considered as a global common. Which of the statement given above is are correct? 1 and 2 only, 3 only, 2 and 3 only, and 1 and 3 only. Iraq is also there, Turkey is also there, Pakistan is also there, correct? So here we have question number 3. High seas refer to area beyond exclusive economic zone. A country passing through high seas must inform the coastal countries. The high seas are considered as global common. So I think in this question, most of you have given the correct answer. First, it is correct that high seas refer to the sea area beyond exclusive economic zone. A country passing through high sea must inform the coastal country. There is no such requirement. Okay. The high seas are considered as a global common, so that is correct. Hence the answer is D option, that is 1 and 3. Okay. So here the answer is 1 and 3. High seas are considered as global common. Global common means it is not a resource of any one country, rather it is shared among all of them. Okay. So this is our first topic. This is our first part the practice questions. Now we are coming to this topic, satellite for defense. Okay. So this is one thing, like recently in the month of May 2025, we had this conflict. Between India and Pakistan. India has launched this Operation Sindoor. And while we have been successful in eliminating various terrorist targets, eliminating various targets, there was a realization that we need to have this real-time and accurate satellite surveillance. Okay. So there was a realization of one thing, that there is a need of real-time and accurate satellite surveillance. There is a need of real-time and accurate satellite surveillance. Okay. And see, there is one thing. If we look at the history, some of the major conflicts, some of the major problems have given rise to very important solutions or very important innovations. Like in Kargil war, we realized this, that we need to have our own navigation system. In Kargil war, we realized that we need to have our own navigation system, and thus we planned for this Navik, navigation with Indian constellation. So what we see, that in the same manner, now we also think that there is a requirement of a real-time and accurate surveillance by satellites. Okay. Why do we need it? We need it because we can track the movement of drones. It is not just during that, it is not like that just only during the conflict Pakistan is sending drones towards India. In normal days also, Pakistan is using the unmanned air vehicles or the drones to smuggle drugs, to smuggle weapons in India. Okay. So we need it to track the movement of drones as well as missiles. We need it in a very accurate manner. Okay. We need to also confirm enemy mobilization. We need to confirm this enemy mobilization, like where they are getting mobilized, in which area they are moving, where is their strike intent. Okay. So this is one part. Enhancing the situational awareness. Okay. We need to have the situational awareness. We need to have that much situational awareness also. Suppose that if we are even launching a strike on any of terrorist sites or terrorist locations in Pakistan or Pakistan occupied Kashmir, we need to have clarity about the destruction which has been caused by our missiles or our attacks. So for also that part, we need to have these surveillance. And we also need to prevent any major damage to military assets. Okay. Prevent any major damage to military assets. So we need it for attack, we need it for prevention, we need it for surveillance. So we need these satellite services. We need these satellite services and we need it rapidly. Okay. So we have got this satellite based surveillance program. and this is a program of $3.2 billion. Okay. We have got this SBS program, which is going to be rolled out in the next 1 decade, in the next 10 years. Okay. So under this program, what we see that ISRO plus private sector, ISRO plus private sector, both are going to work. Okay. Here what we will see that ISRO is going to launch the initial 21 satellites, and plus we will see that 31 satellites that is going to be launched by the private sector. So in total 52 satellites are going to be used. We have a budget of, we have this budget of $3.2 billion, and timeline is approximately of 10 years. Approximate timeline is of 10 years. So what we see that, like, first of all, ISRO is going to launch these, okay, and then after that private sector will also follow it. So we are going to have this like a security related benefit. At the same time, like on one hand we have the security benefit, okay, which we have all seen that on one side we have this security benefit, okay, and on the other side we are also having private participation in space. We are having private participation in space come defense plus economic benefit. So this is why government has started to fast track this. Government has started to fast track this, that we are going to have an increased surveillance over the border, not just the Pakistan border, we are going to have it all around India and the Indian Ocean region. Okay. That from the coastal areas to the frontier regions in the northwestern side, in the northern side, in the eastern side, we are going to cover it all up. If any drone is coming towards India or any such aerial threat is coming towards India, we are going to detect them in real time, and then we can have that like counter attack. So this is one thing which we are trying to do with the help of these SBS program, satellite based surveillance program. Okay. So that is our first topic. Okay. Government has started this like precision surveillance. We are going to have this surveillance system. 52 satellites are going to be there under this program. Okay. So this is our first topic. I hope that is clear. Okay. First set of satellites. No, Bharat, see, there is one part. It is not that the spelling of defense is incorrect. Okay. The thing is, when you write C in it, the laptops which are based on largely US English. So there is a difference between US English and UK English. In UK English, you write C. In US English, you write S. So most of the computer systems or Microsoft and all other things, they are using this English system of United States. So that's why if you write C in there, it will show incorrect. But if you write S in there, it will show correct. So that's why the change. Okay. You know this part about US and UK or not? Like US has got their own set of words. They are not simply following the UK English. They have changed it as per their like whatever they want. They have changed it as per their requirement, as per their intent. Like, just to give an example, okay. Generally, if you look at this, in India you read the spelling of color as this, but if you write it in the computer system, it will show incorrect. If you write it color, it will show the correct one. Okay. In same manner, okay, in same manner, if you write favor, FABOUR, so it will be correct as per the British English. But if you write it in laptop, FABOR, okay. So in same manner, if you look at this, favor, In same manner, neighbor. Okay. So there are many such words which has different spelling in British and US English. So that's why you will see the difference. Okay. So I hope that is clear, Bharat. Okay. Like in same manner, if you look at English, okay, generally if you read, suppose when we are writing Ram, in English sometimes it is written as Ram. So then there is spelling change in name also. These all things are part of English and all. United States have changed their English according to their wish. And do you know on what ground they have changed it? Like why they have changed it? On what ground? On what ground US have changed all these things? They have changed the pronunciation. They have changed this spelling also. They have changed the different rules of grammar also. So on what basis they have changed it? Any idea about this? Like what was the basis? Anyone having any idea about this? That on what basis they have actually done it? They have said that we have a greater English speaking population. Our number is higher. Okay. They have said this because they have said this that we have greater population than Britain. Okay. And if so, population is the criteria. If the population is the criteria for deciding the spelling, if population is the criteria for deciding the spelling, then I will suggest that we will write English as this. If population becomes the criteria, okay, so then we can write English as English also. Okay. So they have got their influence, they have got their population, they say that this is our English, we will speak like that. Okay. So think about this. We have more population than United States and United Kingdom and the European countries combined together. Okay. All the European countries, United States combined together, we have more English speaking population than them. It's not even about the total population. Our English speaking population is more than the combined population of United States, United Kingdom and many of the English speaking European countries. So on the basis of this, we can change many things, but let it be. Okay. So let's come to the next topic. Let's then come to the next topic. There is one thing called as kombucha. Okay. So this is one thing. Kombucha. It has been quite much viral. It has been quite much there in the news from time to time. And it has been a trend in UPSC that sometimes we have got some viral news and UPSC has been asking questions about it. Like in 2022, there was a particular mushroom which was quite much famous. It is called as Gucci mushroom. It is not branded mushroom. It is not from Gucci brand. The name is Gucci mushroom. Okay. So that mushroom has a cost of like more than lakh rupees per kg. Okay. It costs more than 1 lakh rupees per kg, even more than that. In similar manner, we have a special tea. We have a special tea, a fermented tea, which is called as kombucha. Okay. So this is a fermented tea. This is a fermented tea called as kombucha. Okay. And it is made by fermenting. Okay. We have the black tea plus sugar, plus there is one more additional substance which is called as a SCOBY. 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 The SCOBY is simply symbiotic culture of bacteria and yeast. Symbiotic culture of bacteria and yeast. And from this, a special type of tea is being prepared. Although this should not be called as tea. It is a grave injustice to tea, but they call it as this kombucha tea. Yeah. So it is a fermented drink which is made from fermentation of black tea with sugar and a SCOBY. Okay. And it is being promoted as a probiotic powerhouse. Okay. It is being promoted as probiotic powerhouse. Probiotic means those, like a probiotic powerhouse means the food which is rich in those microorganisms, those bacteria which are helping in our digestion. So it is being advocated that if people are consuming this kombucha, they are going to get health benefit. Their digestion is going to improve. They can also have fat loss. So it is becoming popular across the world, especially in South America and some other countries. It is becoming very much popular. So kombucha is one such fermented tea which is considered as a source of probiotics to help in digestion plus fat loss, gut health. Okay. So these things are considered to be getting better by consumption of this kombucha tea. Okay. Now, that's why it is famous. That's why this is famous. Now, in case of India, if we talk about this, we already have many foods like this. There is no requirement of having the kombucha tea. We already have this multiple type of food items in India. We already have various type of vegetables which are there. They are fiber rich. We are also having curd. We are having pickles. Okay. So if you look at the Indian alternative, to this, we have the curd, we have the pickles. So it is the season of mango. You may be having fresh pickles being prepared at your home. You can just imagine about it in the present time also. You may have seen fresh pickles made up of mango, jackfruit, or many other things which are getting prepared. So that is also one option. So curd is there, pickles is there. Okay. Then vegetables are there. So all these things are also a source of probiotics. So it is being said that it may not be that much suitable for the Indian population. Why it is being talked about? In India, you may have seen a trend on Facebook, on Instagram, on WhatsApp. You open a website, you open YouTube. In all these places, nowadays, there is a constant, regular advertisement about how to reduce your obesity, how to control excess fat in your body. So in India, there is a new market now. There is a new market. Earlier, it was just about zero sugar. Earlier, it was just about this zero sugar ads and all. Now, there is a variety of items. Now, there is a variety of tablets, variety of drinks, which are being said that it is going to control the obesity. It is going to give you a lean and thin or 6 packs within 6 hours. So many of these medicines are also saying that it can give you 6-pack within 6 hours. Okay. So these things are also being advocated right now. Okay. So in that part itself, kombucha is one of those fermented drinks which is becoming viral these days. Okay. So I hope that is clear. And so that's why I told you that calling it as a tea is a grave injustice to tea. Okay. So calling it as a tea is a grave injustice to tea. Tea is only one thing. Okay. Tea is something in which you use the tea leaves, okay, the seeds of the tea. Then you add water to it. You can add cardamom. You can use other smaller spices. Okay. Then you add a little bit of milk to it. You add a little bit of sugar to it. And then if it becomes that, if it gets that slightly reddish flavor, then only it is tea. Rest all other things are just like in the name of the tea, there are so many drinks which are being made. Like something is black tea, something is green tea, something is yellow tea. But there is only one genuine tea. And that is the milk tea which is prepared. Okay. Otherwise, all other things are not tea. Okay. So that is one simple thing. Okay. Matcha is trading. What is matcha? I have not heard about it. Okay. ये किस स्टेट में मिलता है? नहीं नहीं नहीं, this is not about a state. This is not about particular state. It is a new type of drink which can be made anywhere. You have to just use black tea. Black tea is tea without sugar. Okay. Green color tea is not tea. Green color tea, I don't regard that as tea. Okay. Tea is only one thing. Now, coming to this one part, GI tag and cultural misappropriation. Okay. So this was one thing which was quite famous. Recently in the month of June, it was quite famous. Okay. What we have seen that, like there is one type of slippers which are called as Kolhapuri chappals. Kolhapuri chappals. And there is a brand. There is a brand, okay, like Parada. Okay. There is a brand called as Parada. So they were also making a slipper which were identical to Kolhapuri chappals. Okay. So what we see that there was a recent protest about this, that some of the foreign companies are copying or trying to imitate. They are trying to do this imitation. They are trying to do this imitation of Indian goods. Those who have even got GI tags, they are also being imitated. And then they are being sold in the market. So that was one context of it. Okay. So we see that this okay, I will come to that part of how to cover IR and sources. I will come to that part. Okay. So yes, recently this luxury brand Prada, they have used this footwear which was inspired by this Kolhapuri chappal. Okay. So now there was huge protest that how they can do so. And even if they want to do so, first they have to give the credit. They have to obtain this authorization. If they have got the authorization, only then they can be promoting it. Otherwise, they cannot be. Okay. So in this context, we are going to talk about this GI tag. That what is the meaning of this GI tag? Okay. And how it matters for the society. How it matters for the society. What can be done at international level? What can be done at international level to reduce this misappropriation? Okay. So this is first thing. GI tag. Okay. So see here. India became a member of United Nations Conference on Trade and Development. Okay. India joined it. Okay. India became a member. And as part of this, we started this registration of GI tags in India. Okay. As part of this, India started registration of GI tags. Okay. So we got a geographical indication tag registration rules also, and as per that we started providing GI tags. We started providing GI tags to various goods. Okay. So this is one thing, like after becoming the member of United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, India passed a law, and under that law, India started providing the GI tags to various goods. Okay. So why they are being provided? Why they are being provided? Okay. Why do we have this GI tag? What is the intent behind it? Okay. Why we are having this GI tag? Anyone? Why we are having this? Why we are having this GI tag? Any idea about this? It is a reflection of originality of the substance. Like even before the GI tag, it's not that GI tags have started these things. GI tags are just a recognition. They are just a recognition. But from a very long period of time, there are certain things which are quite famous in India. Like the Darjeeling tea. The Darjeeling tea is quite famous throughout the country. The Kanchipuram silk is famous. The Varanasi pan is also quite famous. Okay. In same manner, there are so many goods and items across the country which are known for their like distinctiveness, their uniqueness. And that uniqueness is basically coming from their coming from a particular territory, coming from a particular region. Okay. So this GI tag, it is like a recognition of uniqueness and authenticity of any product originating from a specific region. Okay. From a specific region. So it is on the basis of that, that GI tag is awarded. Okay. Like Darjeeling tea, if it has been provided with GI tag, it means, now what will be the meaning of that? We will also come to this. Okay. So it is first a reflection and a recognition of the uniqueness and authenticity of any product arising from a particular location in the country. That is the first part. And if GI tag is being provided, GI tag, this is provided to the registered users, registered manufacturers or suppliers of a particular area. Means suppose that if like let us say if Darjeeling tea a GI tag has been provided, it doesn't mean that anyone who is growing tea in Darjeeling will be able to use the same GI tag. No, GI tag represents the authenticity. So this authenticity is not available for anyone just because they belong to that area. They have to obtain the registration for that. They have to apply to the government to get the registration for that. Once they have got that registration, then after they can use the GI tag. Okay. So this is something which is provided to the registered manufacturer or supplier of a particular area. There is a validity. There is a validity, and that is of 10 years. But it can be renewal option is there. There is an option of renewal of it. Okay. And if they are using the GI tag, this GI tag provides authenticity. This provides authenticity to the product. Like, just to give an example, there is one thing, Pashmina shawls. Pashmina shawls are very much famous from Jammu and Kashmir. But it doesn't mean that if anyone is making any Pashmina shawl, they can use the GI tag. No, those manufacturers who have got this registration, those who have got this permission, only they can use this GI tag. And when they are selling their product, they will sell it with GI tag. So if anyone is purchasing Pashmina shawl, even in Tamil Nadu, if they see this authentic tag, the GI tag, they can be sure about the quality of the product. So this is how GI tag is being provided. So this is going to provide the economic boost. This is going to provide the economic boost, quality product. This is also going to give recognition of unique products. Okay. This is going to promote development of areas. So these are the possible benefit, cultural advantage or cultural upliftment. So these are the things which can be seen as the possible benefit of providing the GI tag. That with the help of this GI tag, we can also go for this cultural upliftment. Why? See, throughout India, we have been promoting certain things. Like suppose that there are certain people who are engaged in Madhubani painting. So that is a part of culture. So when we are promoting or when we are giving the GI tag to Madhubani painting, those who are engaged in it, they are also getting the benefit, plus the culture is also getting the preservation. Then we see that there is going to be quality product also. Customers, if they see the GI tag, so they will also be assured about the authenticity of the product. So this is why the GI tags has been used. Okay. So this is one part. First, we have seen that what was the context. Then we have seen how we have started this GI tag. Third thing which we have seen, what is the meaning of it and what is the benefit. Now, there is one challenge. At the national level also there is misuse of this. At the national level also there is misuse of it. But at international level, there is no such check. Okay. So what we see that, like the challenge, we see that there is misuse at domestic and international level. So suppose that if there is a abuse of this at the domestic level, so you can file a complaint. You can file a complaint of cheating, fraudulent activities at the local level. At local level, we can have this filing of complaints against those who are using it in a inappropriate manner. So there is option of consumer grievance redressal. Okay. And there is also option of like for the businesses also, there is option that they can file it with Competition Commission of India or other agencies. Okay. So there is grievance redressal here. Okay. There is this grievance redressal option. But in this case, there is a requirement now. There is a requirement of international recognition of GI tags. Okay. So this is one thing which we get to know, that there is a need of or requirement of international recognition of GI tag. So while at national level we can solve the problem, but at international level also there is a requirement. There is a requirement of solving this problem. We need to have certain regulatory rules or certain regulatory provisions for international abuse, and at the same time we need to have this international recognition of the GI tags. Okay. So I hope this part is clear. Yes, uniqueness and quality of product. Yes, it is also about originality and expressing our culture and heritage. So I hope this part is clear, that what is GI tag, how it is being misappropriated, what is the benefit, and like how it can be resolved at international level. I hope this part is clear. Okay, so then let's come to the next part. There is one thing called as Thali index. There is one thing called as Thali index. Okay. So what is the cost of one thali? Tell me about this. You may have gone to different hotels. You may have gone to various mess also, where you are when you are in student life, you find that there are so many local mess facilities which are being run. Local canteens are there, or hotels are there which are providing thali. So tell me one thing, what is the cost of one thali in your locality? What is the cost of one thali in your locality? ₹5. Where did you get ₹5? ₹100 unlimited, okay? 120, okay, ₹50. Okay, ₹100 unlimited, okay. ₹35 in West Bengal, okay, good. ₹5. Are you talking about Tamil Nadu? In Tamil Nadu, it can be ₹5. In Tamil Nadu, I think there is this one option. I am not asking about the subsidized one, that in the government canteen or in other places you get the subsidized one. So that is different. I am asking about the normal rate in the market. I am asking about the normal rate in the market. If there is any canteen or private mess where you are getting the food. Anyone from Delhi? Anyone from Old Rajendra Nagar? In Tamil Nadu, we have this rasoi, Amma rasoi perhaps, or Amma canteen, where ₹5 is the cost of ₹5 is the cost of one thali. Okay. ₹70 minimum. Okay. Okay. So now we are talking about this poverty. Poverty index. So multiple people have got so many calculations. there are more calculation of poverty line, okay, then like the schemes related to upliftment of poverty. There are so many calculations with respect to this poverty line. Okay. And what we see that according to different figures, the poverty in India is quite low. Okay. In some cases, it is being said that in India the poverty is below 5%. As per Niti Aayog, it is being said that it is below this 10%. Okay. In some cases, the abject poverty or extreme poverty has been estimated at 2.8% also. That it is only 2.8% in case of India. So many of the poverty figures, the poverty rate, it is based on calorie intake. And how do we calculate this calorie intake? It's not that people are going individually to the houses and checking it via the smartwatches. Okay, today you have eaten 100 gram of rice, 200 gram of vegetables, 300 gram of pulses. Okay. So many a times it is on the basis of how much food is being distributed via the public distribution system. Many a times it is simply on this basis that how much food, how much grains has been distributed as per the public distribution system, the midday meal scheme, and the market pattern, that how much has been purchased by the people from market. On the basis of that, we are calculating the poverty index. And as per many figures, the poverty in India is on the lower side, 2.8%. In urban areas, as per the World Bank estimate, as per the calorie figure, the extreme poverty in urban area is only 1.1%. They say that in urban areas, the extreme poverty is just 1.1%. Means majority of the people are getting proper amount of food. More than 98% people are getting sufficient amount of food. Only a few percent of people are not getting the food properly. So this is as per the poverty figures. Okay. Some says 5%, some says 2.8%, some says 1.1%, some may say 10%. As per the income figures and everything, sometime it becomes 25%. So there is one thing, that calorie intake just on the basis of the cereal grains distribution cannot be a source of estimating the poverty. So in that context, there is another index, Thali index. There is another thing called as Thali index. So what we see that Thali is being considered as like standard of living. Okay. Here we are talking about, of course, the vegetarian thali. Okay. So it is estimated that in India, the cost of thali is rupees 30. The average cost of thali is rupees 30. So you can understand that how much difference is there between the reality and between the figures which are taken by agencies in calculation of the prices of thali. Okay. So it is believed that the cost of one thali is rupees 30, but it is about homemade food. Okay. It is about homemade food. That in 30 rupees we are preparing one thali, which will be sufficient for consumption. So what we see that on the basis of this, what we see that in 2023-24, like 40% of the rural population cannot afford like 2 thalis per day. Okay. So 40% population, what we see that 40% rural population cannot afford two thalis per day. So this is one part, that what we see, that 30 rupees has been estimated as the cost of one thali, as the cost of one thali. Okay. So what we see, that 40% of the rural population in 2023-24 cannot afford two thalis per day. In the urban areas, it is 10%. 10% urban, that they cannot afford two thalis per day. Okay. So even if we talk about this part, okay, even if we talk about this one part, that even if we go by thali index, then also we see that the 40% of rural population cannot afford to have just two thalis per day. And see, there is another part which we are missing. Another part which we are missing, if we talk about basic necessity of life, if we talk about basic necessity of life, there are certain things which you are going to require. One of them is the house. Okay. The another part which you are going to have is requirement of food. Then you also require education. Okay. Then you also require health. Then you also require clothes. So there are at least some basic necessities. From a long period of time, there were three themes in Indian cinema. In Indian cinema, it was being said that there was three basic necessity of life: roti, kapra, makan. Means you need to have food, you need to have the clothes, you need to have the house. Now, in the present times, education and health has also become integral part of life. So for any person in any part of the society, there is just a requirement of at least 5 things. And if we just calculate the food part only, we see that 40% of Indian population in rural India is living under this poverty line. Okay. So just changing the figures, just changing that we don't have poverty in India is not going to solve the problems of poverty in India. When the people are not able to afford a thali of 2 times, how we can say that there is only 2% poverty in India? Okay. So, and that too just about the food figure. We are not even calculating the cost of education, the cost of health, the cost of housing, and don't even go in calculating the cost of housing. Because when you calculate the cost of housing, you will find that 70 to 80% of India is living under poverty line. Because many of them are just living in rented accommodation, and the rent is so much high that it will cross per capita income of India. Okay. So this is one part, that what is the cost of housing, food, education, health, clothes and everything. Okay. So we are not even going into that. Just in the food part, we are not able to have 40% of population 2 thalis per day. So this is one part. Okay. So what is poverty? What is poverty? Poverty is basically the absence of basic facilities. And in today's time, basic facilities will include house, clothes, education, health and food. So if people are able to afford the food for 2 times, but if they are not able to afford the clothes, if they are not able to afford a house, if they are not afford to get health and education, will they call be rich? Okay. So poverty is just like the absence of the basic things. Poverty is not just about the lack of money. Okay. If you calculate, everyone considers them to be poor. Like if you consider this the relative concept of poverty, so anyone can tell others that I am having no money. Even those who are having hundreds of crore, they say that we are having just 100 crore. What will I do from that? And those who are having like 10,000 crore, they have still the same problem. We are having just only 10,000 crore rupees. We are not that much rich. Okay. So that is the problem. So if you go by the relative poverty, that is a different thing. But here we are talking about the absolute, the abject poverty, where people cannot even afford basic things. So it is the absolute or the abject poverty. So I hope that is clear. That what is this challenge of poverty in India? Now there was this one question that how to prepare the IR part. See, those who are preparing for international relations for the mains examination, just do one thing. See that in the recent times we are having like some relations or some improvement in relation with some countries. Okay, like all time favorite, we have US, we have China, Russia, okay, European Union, France, UK, okay, Canada. So these are, other than that we have Africa, Latin American countries, ASEAN, West Asia, and Central Asia. So these are some of the countries for which you have to prepare the IR related things. Whenever you are preparing the notes of these things, what you have to see? You have to look at the history of relation. Okay. Then you have to look at the positives. Okay. You have to look at the positives in relation. You have to find the irritants in relation. You have to find the significance of relation, and you have to find the current developments. So if you have to prepare the IR, plus the other section will be like international org, their origin, mandate, roles, achievement, limitation, reform, and finally India's involvement. So here you have the United Nations, okay, and related organizations, United Nations, WTO, World Bank, etc., etc. Okay. So these are the part of international organizations which you have to prepare, and here you have to prepare with this part. There is also one thing, Bangladesh plus neighboring countries, neighbors. Like this time there can be a question with respect to Pakistan also. There can be a question with respect to terrorism also, Pakistan also, okay, or Pakistan China nexus also, okay. So there might be a question with respect to that. Okay, so that will be all for today. I hope that all the topics are clear. Any question, any doubt? If not, then enjoy that. What was the name of the drink? Kombucha. Okay. Enjoy the kombucha tea, or you can simply eat dahi, or you can eat pickles. Okay. Yesterday's PPT is not uploaded. Okay, I will ask the team about this, Prachi, that they will update it as soon as possible. Okay. So till then, enjoy with this kombucha tea, and then we will meet the next day and we will discuss more topics. Thank you everyone. Take care and all the best.